to speak on the most relevant topic, the role of technology to make teaching, learning and assessment convenient. So, first of all, we would like to see what is learning. Learning is the process of acquiring new knowledge, modifying an existing knowledge, behavior, skills, values, which may involve synthesizing different types of information. If we talk about the learning, we start from the beginning, ancient time, when the students used to study in the ashrams by gurus. After that, the era came to the traditional learning. Now we are into the technological learning and learning. Today, I would like to touch upon the different parameters which are responsible for learning, teaching and assessments responsible. As you must be knowing, we all are talking about traditional learning, technology, but there are something which we are missing, and for that we are doing a lot of things in our college, and that missing portion is the motivation. In last 1 year, we have approached to approximately more than 66,000 students all over Rajasthan, organizing more than 200 seminars all over the state, and we have approached to the students and we found what are the things which are missing. If we talk about the daily routine of a student, we all are talking from the morning what the teaching and learning is there in the college or schools, but we are not talking about the learning at home. If we talk about the daily routine, on an average, for 6 hours, a student is going to school or college, and in my opinion, 8 hours is required to get a comfortable sleep for all the students. 1 hour is required to go to college and come back to home. 2 hours for morning, breakfast, lunch and dinners, 1 hour to get ready himself, and 2 hours for homeworks and all. Now, the remaining time is only 3 hours. So if we talk about the total timing of a student, 6 hours is he or she is studying in school or college, and he is having only 3 hours to study at home. And we have observed that in college, the students are having very limited options to do the study. All the decisions are being made by the organizer or the management. The students are having very limited options. Whatever the type of study which is provided to the student, he has to accept it. The only one thing which a student can do is he can maintain the eye contact. As we were, my previous learned speakers were saying that the front bencher students are always being benefited. It is absolutely true. And the students who are sitting in the last benches, they are in a loser position. So now what we can do to improve the environment in the school or colleges? So that for that
you have to have the backbenchers to be the front.
Yeah, that only just we are only actually I am trying my level best to do some value addition. So we have identified 14 different parameters on which we can be benefited, and what the technology is playing a role in study, learning and assessment portion. As we must be knowing, a little bit has been narrated in the morning sessions also. Just like in hospitals, student is doing practical training along with his study. Why not it is possible in the other streams also, like engineering and all? Why only theory portion is being covered up in the colleges? As you must be knowing, there are 3 aspects of learning. One is listening, another is visualizing, and third is by doing. Rightly before 2 days I was in Delhi, and there was a training of teachers of training, and they told that there must be a ratio of 60 to 40%. 40% the teacher should play, and 60% role the student has to play. Then only it has to be ideal learning and teaching. But unfortunately, nobody is talking about this. So, what our research says, that if we concentrate about visualization portion, and if we develop our technology which is convenient to the student, just like the visual applications like multimedia, and that to NLQ, natural language processing, nobody is developing the applications or the videos which are available in local languages. We are all knowing in Russia, they are teaching, they are giving the training of MBBS in their own personal language, even in China. But why we are just going behind English? Of course, the English is a global language, but there are thousands of lakhs of students who are unable to get the knowledge only because of the learning barrier, because of the language barrier. So if the things are developed in natural languages, in local languages, in place of going behind the English, definitely a lot of majority of population can be benefited. As we all know, all over the globe there are 7 billion populations. God has given different faces to all individuals. God has given different eye patterns to all individuals, different thumb impressions. But one thing which is common, that when the child is born, the capability of mind is almost equal for all the childs. God has not given any differentiation. This is only the environment which has made a child extraordinary or below average. Now what the environment we are providing to our children? So that we need to think of. And for that, we have to teach to the students what is mind management, what is conscious mind, what is subconscious mind, how to make the friends in the subconscious mind, what are the two brains, left brain and right brain, and how to utilize the mind capacity in a better way. I think nobody is talking about this one. Teacher is coming to the class, he is taking his subject and go away. Nobody is doing the counseling work for the students. Even today the counseling is required for the parents also. Because what happens? What the parents could not do in their life, they are expecting to do it with their children. This is very much unfortunate. And what is the speciality in the child? Nobody is talking about it. So there has to be a continuous evaluation program for the parents also, for the students also. When they start their career, at that time, that type of programs are needed. Even during the study itself, continuous counseling is required. I am the chairman of Motivational Society of Achievers. One thing which has started, which has made me to start this thing is, I would like to share with you people also. There was a student in IIT Kanpur. He used to get first rank from the childhood. In the second year, unfortunately, first time in his life, he got second rank. And second, not second division, he got second rank. And that to more than 80% marks. But there was so much pressure from his parents that, oh, I am second, and he committed suicide. One of my friends is in IIT Kanpur. Then some of the professors from IIT and NIT, we thought that we should reach to the students and should motivate that life is a very precious. Once we made a survey that what is the cost of a human life, and we found that if we sum up all the element, all the missed body parts to the international valuation, it is coming to 40,000 crore rupees. It means when a child is born, God has given a FD of 40,000 rupees along with the birth. No, we are not thinking about that. We all are talking about the technology. We all are talking about the learning, getting good marks, and unfortunately, the parameter of success is getting the highest marks. It is not the intelligence. It is for getting the marks. So for that, we made a research, and there are some outcomes which I would like to share with you people. Of course, these are the tools like Google, Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, blog, Skype, Wikipedia, PowerPoint, Google. There are so many tools which are available for doing the quick results and to do the study with technology. Now, we made a survey with 330 respondents with different parameters, and the parameters for different 14 parameters, the rank was given for very high, high, medium, low and very low as 10, 8, 6, 4 and 2 consequently, and the parameters were cost of education, use of technology, course content, live practical projects, library facilities, travel time and cost. So the students were asked to give the weightage of all these parameters. These are the 7 parameters, and the remaining 7 parameters are knowledge of faculty, 24/7, anytime learning, students participation, faculty-students interaction, student attendance, easy access to masses, and students placement. I think these are the parameters for which learning, teaching and assessment is best. And the students were asked to give their preferences, and we came out with the result that use of technology was given the highest preferences by getting the score of 29.18, followed by knowledge of faculty, live practical projects, anytime learning and so on. And the last preference was given to travel time and cost. So these are the 14 parameters which are responsible for successful study for a student. Similarly, we made another experiment in which 2 groups were identified for 40 students with the same background. One group was given the traditional education, another group was given the technological education, no classroom education. And we identified after 2 months training, we have seen the response in both the groups, and we found that in achievement after the 2 groups, after 2 months, the technological group got 73.12 percentage marks, average marks, and traditional group got 67%. Similarly, but the attitudes were changed in 2 months. So in technological group we got 85.53 percentage, and in traditional group we got 60.53, and in interview, of course, the traditional students got higher marks, and overall performance is that technological group got 67.5 and traditional group got 64.3. So it hardly matters whether the training is given through technology or through classroom. The only thing is that whatever a student is required, we'll have to identify what is the requirement of industry and what we are producing. Today, industry is saying that we don't have the good manpower. At the same time, colleges are saying that our students are having no jobs. So why not to have a interaction between industry and the colleges? So in our college also, we have organized couple of industry ready education meet in collaboration with Chamber of Commerce and Industries, in which the industrialists from prominent industries were called, and they were asked to explain what is their need, and the students were allowed to go to the industries and to get the exposure what the industries needed. But why not it is happening in all the universities, in all the colleges? Unfortunately, since we all are the professionals, vice chancellors, directors, dean, but what is the attitude of the owner of the colleges? Their attitude is entirely different as per from the attitude of the vice chancellors and deans and directors. And unfortunately, we will have to follow whatever the owners are saying. We cannot make the decision of our own. If the owner of a college is saying that, oh, please you pass this student, whether he is average or below average, we will have to do it. There is no choice with us, then how the educational system will be improved? So that we will have to see. We have seen what is the learning environment, and we have seen technological learning, traditional learning, and mixture of both. So you will find that majority, more than 70% students have opted mixture of both, traditional learning as well as the technological learning. Then we also find out what are the barriers of technological barriers, in which bandwidth, access of internet, privacy and other issues are identified. And like this we made the survey. Of course this is the survey of only 330 respondents, but a lot of things is required to be done in this particular subject. But my question is, we are talking about the technology, we are talking about the college learning, but we are not talking how a student will do study at home. There is a retention capability of the mind. A student can retain 75 to 90% of course content during the first half an hour, and after that his retention capability reduces to 20% sharply. Nobody is teaching to the student what the food he has to take and how the gaps has to be taken, how to make the framing in subconscious mind. Nobody is talking about this. And I have taken 212 seminars in last 1 year, and wherever I went, everywhere I was the first person to talk about those of the things to the students. We were talking about mind management, stress management, study techniques, how to get maximum marks, but nobody is talking. Students are saying, or even teachers also, they are saying this is the first time, this type of seminar we are listening. Of course in developed countries that type of concept is there. Unfortunately it is not there in India. So this is my humble request to all the dignitaries, that whatever is the missing thing in our education system, please include, because you people are the decision makers, please include in your curriculum, so that today we are the luckiest one. Our more than 65% population is less than 35 years, and our average age is 27 years. If we talk about the developed countries, their average age is more than 60 years. And in 2020, there will be a lot of old people. At that time, India would be in a position to export our youth power. So we must concentrate upon our youth, and we can make our country from developing to developed country, and again we can make a golden bird to our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And any question? I think it was nice of Dr. Traditional learning showed some surprising results also in the process. And finally he showed that both the overall outcome is close to the same when you put all the parameters. It's really surprising. And you have also touched upon a very serious issue of consciousness studies about mind, body, ethics and things, and maybe technology we will find whether it can address those things. Thank you so much, and may I now request Dr. V. Venkataya to give his